This is John Costa, the editor of Citizen's Eye, and we're here in St Martin's Square at Future Cycles, great cycle shop. If any of your cycling needs, come down and see these guys. And we're going to go in and speak to a guy called Tim Hudson, who is responsible. I love that door. Nice squeaky door there, Tim. Should be enough oil in this shop. All right, Tim, now you're responsible for Future Cycles here and also the bike park at the Town Hall, is that right?
That's right, yeah.
Okay, excellent. Now, you were telling me that you're launching a new bike hire scheme sort of round about in the middle of June. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's on the... when we tendered for the bike park, one of the things that we wanted to do was increase the number of services that the bike park offered. In the past, the bike park did a cycle hire scheme, and it's been something that we've been requested quite often, usually by people visiting Leicester, that they want to hire a bike. So as such, we're currently doing a big scheme with Rolls-Royce in Derby, where we're hiring them some bikes. Those bikes are going to come back to us end of May, and then we're going to check them over, refurb them, and they're going to go back out as hire bikes for people of Leicester.
So how many of them would there be?
Initially, there'll probably be 10 to 15.
Okay.
But there's going to be a mixture of hybrid bikes, low step-through city bikes, predominantly sort of for ladies with long dresses, and folding bikes.
Okay, now tell us a little bit about, people have talked about sort of the Boris bike scheme and all these kind of things, and it'd be great to have a scheme like this. Is this kind of like a halfway point towards something like that? Yeah,
I mean, we attend the Forum for Cycling Organisation, Cycle City Workshop, and we support that as much as we can. And it's something that's been discussed for quite a while. The Boris bike thing is fantastic for London, and there is other examples around. Not necessarily going to work quite the same for Leicester, because of course Leicester's much more compact. It's not the size of London, so it's going to be something similar should the City Council take that further in the future. What we're keen to do is just sort of fit that, fill the market at the minute that we see that people want some bikes, and just then feed that information back and say, look, this is the experience we've had. It could potentially work.
Do you think with things like the economy and sort of, the cost of living and petrol and things like that, that it's come along at a right time for people that are thinking, actually, well, maybe, I'll leave the car at home and then cycle in, and this could be quite a cost-effective way for them to do it?
Well, we're looking to hire the bikes from as little as £2.50 a day, and that's in price of bus tickets. And that gives you the opportunity of hiring a bike from us, and you're not stuck to a specific bus route. You're not stuck to times. You can jump on the bike, and there's lots of opportunities to then go forward with that. If you like the bike, we're also looking at a way of, at the end of it, once you've hired the bike, to actually keep the bike. But we've got to finalise the details for that. But ideally, we get people cycling, and if they like the bike at the end, they could keep it.
Now, just finally, I was talking to someone, a good friend of mine the other day, who just bought a bike through a scheme through work. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Because I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, there's a few out there. We operate one called Cycle Scheme. We're waiting for another one to come on board, which is called Work Riders. And that's operated by the Association of Cycle Traders. The idea behind that is it's a salary sacrifice scheme. So similar to other schemes that operate like there's childcare vouchers that you can get. The idea is your employer purchases the bike. They then deduct that from your salary, but they deduct it before tax. So obviously there's a tax saving there. Typical examples is you can save sort of £200, £300, £400 on a bike, and you don't just have to have a bike. You can have a bike, a lock, a helmet, some lights.
So you can get like a whole package?
You get a whole package, yeah, and then you pay that off in instalments over 12 months, and at the end of it you agree a fixed fee with your employer, and the bike's yours.
Fantastic. That certainly sounds like an incentive way of getting people interested in cycling.
It's a good way to buy a bike and save yourself some money, yeah.
Cheers, Tim.